Tonight, a man charged over the weekend's shooting at Pablo's cocktail bar. Charges laid following a fatal crash on the South Arm Highway in December. Proposed tax cuts for big business put on hold, with the government failing to gain enough crossbench support. A manhunt after the body of a teenage girl was found in a barrel. And the TSL to continue as presidents and the AFL reach an in-principle agreement.
Live from our Tasmanian headquarters, this is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
Good evening everyone and welcome to Southern Cross News. A Glenorchy man is in police custody tonight following a dramatic arrest outside a busy Hobart store this afternoon. A special operations team swarmed the man's vehicle, soon charging him in relation to a shooting at a cocktail bar on Sunday morning. Our reporter Louise Hedger is at the scene of the arrest.
Dramatic scenes unfolded here at Hobart CBD in the Officeworks car park just a few hours ago. Shoppers were going about their daily business at around 11 a.m. when a Tasmania Police Special Operations team swarmed this car park, dressed in balaclavas and wearing machine guns. Obviously quite a shock to those nearby.
Fully camouflaged, covering their faces, so they're the SAS or the SCOG guys. Armed guns. It was a serious event happening over there, which is concerning, I suppose.
A 38-year-old Glenorchy man said to have links to outlaw motorcycle gangs was arrested and later charged over a recent shooting at a Hobart bar. Police say that shooting was targeted.
Detectives will allege that the man in custody is the person who fired a number of rounds from an SKS semi-automatic rifle into the door at Pablo's shortly after midnight on Saturday just gone.
While the door to the bar was locked and nobody was injured, those responsible have remained on the run. Today was the first arrest, while another suspected offender remains at large tonight.
And the community can feel really assured that we are working really hard to try and locate the second offender and bring that person to justice also.
While many of the witnesses we spoke with today didn't want to speak on camera for fear of repercussions, they did say the alleged offender was pushed against a van, handcuffed and led to a waiting police vehicle. A woman and young child travelling with him watched the incident unfold, standing by as officers carried out an extensive search of their vehicle.
There was some distress and it was pretty uneasy over there.
Police searched 2 properties in the northern suburbs and a hotel room in Hobart prior to laying those charges today. The alleged offender remains in custody and is expected to appear at the Hobart Magistrates Court tonight or tomorrow morning. Police urging anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers.
Okay, thanks for that report, Louise. A Brighton man charged with causing death by negligent driving has today appeared in Hobart's Magistrates Court. Murray Edward Broughton is accused of driving over the speed limit and failing to manoeuvre his vehicle to avoid a collision, which allegedly caused a fatal crash on South Arm Road in Mornington last year. A 49-year-old man travelling with his 2 daughters and a female passenger died following the December 17 crash. The 26-year-old did not enter a plea today and will reappear in court in August. Tasmania's budget estimates have wrapped up today with a fiery exchange over the Integrity Commission's investigation into a Liberal upper house member. A Labor member was ejected from the hearings for asking questions about what he says is a cover-up. The government says it's a shameful attempt to politicise the Integrity Commission.
The final day of budget estimates, and Justice Minister Elise Archer was in the hot seat.
Order. Dr. Woodruff, you've put your question.
I'm dying to answer your questions.
The Minister.
She wasn't so keen to answer Labor's questions over an Integrity Commission investigation.
Minister, you'd be aware that the Integrity Commission investigated a complaint that the member for Montgomery, Leonie Hiskett, potentially used her position to influence a decision of Crown Land Services.
Labor asking about contact between the Liberal member and Crown Land Services and whether the Minister can direct the Integrity Commission to reopen the investigation.
The Integrity Commission is an independent entity.
That's right.
You would have my guts for garter. You would have my guts for a garter if I intervened in the integrity commission process.
Why won't you answer the question?
The committee turning into a shouting match.
Mr Broad, one more, and I will name you, and this committee will be suspended. You will. This committee suspended. I name Dr Broad in breach for persistently disrupting this committee.
A little less fire in another hearing where education was probed, including TasTAFE's response to a highly critical audit. The minister asked if authorities will pursue 2 former executives for breaches of the State Service Act.
Has any consideration been given to that?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Estimates also hearing the cost of a defence trade mission to the US was more expensive than first flagged. The $125,000 bill blowing out to $186,000.
It was an intensive trip, but well worthwhile. The feedback from the companies on the mission has been positive.
Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
After months of uncertainty and speculation, the Tasmanian State League is set to continue into the future. But not everyone is satisfied, with North Launceston President Thane Brady claiming clubs have copped a raw deal.
The in-principle agreement will see the TSL survive into 2019 and beyond, with the 7 clubs set to receive funding to the tune of $110,000 a year from the AFL, a slight increase on paper.
And I think we've got a terrific result here, and anyone who thinks otherwise is just not understanding footy and where we're at.
But try telling that to 2 of the state's biggest clubs in Glenorchy and North Launceston.
There's not a lot of joy in it. It has a similar joy factor as having a slow dance with your sister.
Brady satisfied with the AFL's commitment to honour current licence agreements until 2023, but ropeable the steering committee didn't take on board more recommendations from clubs.
This is a lost opportunity. The TSL could have been invested in to be bigger and better.
Under the new agreement, the competition will keep its name after the AFL's suggestion of rebranding it the Tasmanian Premier League was quickly shut down by club presidents.
Tassie footy ebbs and flows every 2 years and no one knows where we're going. We need consistency and we need this brand to be strong.
The AFL also committing to eventually reintroducing an 8th team into the competition, but with Bruny and Devonport showing little interest, it could be years before the Northwest region is again represented at TSL level.
And that will become the responsibility of AFL Tasmania to ensure that we resource the Northwest community and assist them in their game development.
AFL CEO Gillon McLaughlin is expected to visit the state in the coming days to deliver the final verdict, one which is sure to keep the Tasmanian football community talking for some time to come.
The most important thing is that the State League has been recognised by AFL as a Tier 1 competition.
There is no point jumping up and down with joy with an outcome that effectively just keeps you at the same level.
Tom Cooper, Southern Cross News.
A shake-up is on the way for the Bruny Island ferry service, with the government awarding the contract to new operator Sealink. The Adelaide-based company says it will build 2 new multi-million-dollar ferries to service the route. But unions say local shipbuilders have been let down because there's no guarantee they'll be built in Tasmania.
The Murrumbina has been the mainstay of travel to Bruny Island. But ageing and suffering capacity limitations, the government has been looking for a new solution.
And I'm delighted to announce that the government has secured a fantastic new operator to provide the service for at least the next 10 years.
Signing today with Adelaide-based Sealink, which operates ferry services across the country. It takes over from late September, promising improved services with 2 vessels dedicated to the route every day. Sealink plans to battle queues with more frequent services, an online booking system to reserve spots, and variable pricing based on demand.
There will be some changes, but we're very excited that we can bring with us a lot of experience from servicing other islands around Australia.
The company will relocate one of its vessels to be used alongside the Murrumbina until 2 new ferries come online in 2019 and 2021. Sealink says, like some of its recent new builds, it hopes to construct them in Tasmania.
It is an important thing to do for us. It's something that we would prefer to do, but of course it's a business decision at the end of the day.
The Manufacturing Workers Union says it should have been stipulated in the contract.
Well, it's got to be more than hope. You know, there's got to be a commitment to build those ferries in Tasmania. We've got the capacity, we've got the capabilities, we've got the skilled workforce.
The contract was negotiated by the Department of State Growth. I'm excited about our capability in Tasmania and what we have to offer.
Travel for Bruny Island residents will be subsidised for the first year. Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
After stepping in to fill the void last year, St Luke's Health says its Launceston postnatal service is here to stay. But the private provider is warning an ongoing shortage of midwives will continue to create challenges for the health system.
In 2016, Calvary shut the doors on its postnatal service following a national shortage of midwives, leaving the state's north without private postnatal care. The move saw St Luke's Health fill the void here, using hotel suites rather than hospital rooms. 1 year on, the organisation says it's been a success.
We're really pleased. We've had 102 mums use the service and 104 babies. We've had 2 sets of twins while we've been running.
New mums say the service gives them confidence and answers the tough questions.
You've got all these thoughts of, is it had enough to eat? Does its nappy needs changing constantly? Is it sleeping? Is it feeling all right? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? It's just got to make sure that everything's right.
Jessica Panoff was among the first women to use the service last year, but had been questioning the need to pay insurance premiums.
I would have just had to stay at the public hospital and then go home when I was ready. And it sort of made me feel that, why was I paying for my health insurance?
The service has the backing of the Nursing and Midwifery Union, but it's calling for similar support in the public sector.
We obviously called for publicly funded, dedicated maternal and baby inpatient beds across the state. We know that there is only one dedicated mother-baby unit in the state, in the south, which is provided by a private provider.
Sean McComish, Southern Cross News.
A Tasmanian bodybuilder who feared she would never compete again after being struck down by illness has now beaten the world. Gemma Retelich fought against the odds to achieve her dream, winning Best Figure on the global stage.
It takes steely determination to thrive in the world of pumping iron, and few have more resolve than Gemma Retelich, who went from nearly quitting the sport to bodybuilding's big time.
So I was over-exercising and under-eating because I thought that was the thing, to be lean and to be toned. You didn't eat much, but you exercised a lot.
That extreme approach damaged her kidneys and liver, causing violent pain. But with guidance from a professional coach, Gemma gradually returned to the gym, and on Sunday she reached the mountaintop, winning first place in the Southern Universe Championships, raising the bar from amateur to professional.
There was tears, shaking, shock.
Incredibly, she wasn't even planning to be there. She won her plane ticket to the event in Thailand after taking out a national title in Melbourne only a week earlier.
It gives me that chance to be more confident and be more proud about the person that I am.
The 50-kilogram athlete says it makes the daily 3-hour training sessions, on top of full-time work, worth it. She owes much of her success to the coach who brought her back from the brink of leaving the game for good.
If I didn't have his continuous support, not just on the phone but in person, I wouldn't have made it to the stage. I wouldn't have even thought that I'd ever get back on stage.
Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
A new exhibition not for the faint-hearted has crawled into Launceston. Featuring nearly 200 live exhibits, the Spiders Showcase aims to educate the public on arachnids from across Australia.
Meet Launceston's newest 8-legged exhibit. The latest display at Queen Victoria Museum certainly lives up to its name, showcasing hundreds of spiders from across Australia.
They're an absolute important and vital part of our biodiversity, and yet they're probably the most misunderstood animal on the world.
Running alongside the living exhibits are a number of activities aimed at educating the public on these often misunderstood creatures. Like many, Dr. Robert Raven initially feared the creepy crawlies. He hopes this exhibition will create more understanding.
It's a fantastic venue to be highly educated and to try commanding the fear as I have.
Both the museum and Dr. Raven hope children especially will gain a lot from the experience.
It's amazing to see what young children will richly take in, and it's not necessarily just the games, but the information itself.
While some may get squeamish from the show, museum staff say it's all about untangling the fear.
The exhibition opens to the public on Saturday. Harry Murtaugh, Southern Cross News.
A species of octopus not native to Tasmania has been discovered off the shores of the state's north. The gloomy octopus, native to the east coast of Australia, were discovered by fishermen and scientists. The migration has been attributed to Tasmania's oceans becoming warmer. The study looked into the potential change in the animal's DNA due to the change in habitat. Now let's take a look at the day's business and finance news with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. The Australian share market snapped a losing streak today, mostly thanks to strong performing energy stocks. The ASX 200 index has risen by 20 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 73.37 US cents and 80.95 Japanese yen.
Back home, and Lauderdale will be out to shake off their northern curse this weekend, which has seen them thumped in their past few outings at Utah Stadium. Well, Launceston are desperate to regather following their shock loss to the Tigers.
It's a ground that holds bad memories for the Lauderdale boys.
The last 3 times we've been up there, we've been belted every time. So we know that, and I don't think the boys are really concerned with that. We're just looking at this week.
Welcoming back key on baller Phil Bell-Chambers from suspension for Saturday's clash, the Southern Bombers are coming off the back of 4 wins on the trot, but with 2 of those against the competition's cellar dwellers, Brown is under no illusion about the task ahead.
They work really hard when the ball is not in their area, and that's something that we have to shut down. And we've trained really well this week to do that.
Having brought Clarence's dream run to an unexpected end with a 53-point drubbing, Glenorchy looked to be back to their devastating best.
Even in the second half, when we weren't able to really roll over the top, we still had that real consistency of discipline and hardness and sticking to the way we wanted to play footy, and that enabled us to shut the game down really well.
Sitting just 1 win behind the Roos at 3rd on the ladder, the Pies face an out-of-sorts Launceston outfit off the back of their shock loss to the Tigers.
No doubt the challenge is there, and it's going to be a hard trip south, but for us as a group, we just focus on us and make sure that we tick the boxes first before we worry about wins and losses.
Losing Sonny Whiting for the season during the week after the key forward was unable to commit to the demanding schedule of TSL football, Lonergan has spent the week refocusing the group in the hopes of recapturing some form.
The performance has been flat, and at the end of the day, we've got a young group and we just back them in and keep giving them the confidence to go out there and do what they do.
Tasmanian Eddie Ockenden has guided the Kookaburras to a valuable victory in the Champions Trophy. Ockenden found space in the D to set up Lachlan Sharp for the first goal of the game.
Here comes Ockenden again, across the face of goal and at the back post, tapped in by Lachlan Sharp. What a move that was, started by Eddie Ockenden wide on the right-hand side.
The Kookaburras held on for a 3-2 win over the previously undefeated India.
After Pakistan, we beat them 2-1. You just need the points. It's a really, really tough competition, so to get the win, yeah, it's important because we need to keep staying up on the table to give a chance for the final.
The Kookaburras' next match is against home side the Netherlands on Friday.
Cool around the state today. Hobart 10 degrees. Launceston nearly invoked the too cold to go to work day rule. 7 degrees for Lonnie, 13 for Bruny, Devonport 15 degrees. Lyawini hit the low of -6, but still had a maximum above Launceston's. Flinders Island had our top of 16, St Helens 15, King Island, Smithton and Friendly Beaches 14, Strawn 12, Low Head and Grove 11. The Upper Derwent Valley had some fog well into the afternoon, keeping the cold in. Ooze, a high of just 3 degrees. Now that fog and scattered low clouds sat over central areas in the north today, but fine clear weather over most of the state. On the bigger picture, we can see a band of middle and upper level cloud linked to a trough along the east coast of the nation. More cloud is being generated by a cold front extending from the Bight over the Southern Ocean. Tomorrow the high moves east, as everything does. The secondary centre still over New South Wales and Queensland. The trough moves off the coast and another front charges towards Adelaide. Northwest and northeasterly winds at 15 to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots over the west and northwest with swells at 2 metres. Strong wind warning from Sandy Cape to Stanley. So for Friday, around the place, a morning shower for Hobart, a top of 13 degrees. Morning shower for Huonville and Campania, 13 as well. Launceston, A showery day tomorrow, 4 overnight, a top of 13, 13 for Devonport, and Georgetown showers as well, and 13 degrees, very popular number. 13 also for Bruny, Strawn and Wynyard with a shower or two. And over the east tomorrow, St Helens, morning showers and 14. 14 the top for Swansea, Port Arthur a high of 12. On Saturday, showers contracting to the west and far south of the state. Showers for the west, far south and Bass Strait on Sunday with snow on the peaks, and a similar pattern for Monday with westerly winds. 17 for Perth tomorrow, a shower for Adelaide, cloudy in Melbourne, early fog in Canberra and a sunny 17 in Sydney. Partly cloudy and cooling right down in Hobart, 4 degrees, 7 in Launceston, Devonport 9 right now. Joe, tomorrow is Red Nose Day, opportunity to help raise funds to reduce that alarming number of 9 infant deaths a day, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, the fundraising will be happening right around Australia and we can help out tomorrow.
We certainly can. That actually suits you, Murph. You should leave it on. All right, that's all from the team. Thanks so much for your company. Bye for now.